Right, this is a problem from section 4.1 of the book, the section on linear approximation. And the problem says, box office revenue at a cinema in Paris is given by this equation. R of P is equal to 3,600p minus 10p cubed euros per showing when the ticket price is p euros. Calculate R of P for p equals 9 and use linear approximation to estimate delta R if p is raised or lowered by 0.5 euros. Okay, so the first thing it says to do is just figure out what R of 9 is. So R of 9, that's 36,000 times 9 minus 10 times 9 cubed. Let's see, I think I can do this without a calculator and factor out a 9. At least I'll do part of it without a calculator. So if I factor out a 9, then I'm left with 9 squared in this second term, which is 81. Okay, so 9 times 3,600 minus 810. All right, maybe I will use the calculator after all. Okay, so 3,600 minus 810 is 2,970, and then if I multiply that by 9, let's see, we get 25,110. Okay, so that's their revenue if they charge 9 euros per ticket. Now, the second part of the problem says to use linear approximation to estimate delta R if P is raised or lowered by 0.5 euros. So you can either use our formula, but really, oops, didn't mean to go back that far. We can use the formula, but really this all comes from saying, well, we're going to take the line that's tangent to the graph of R when P is equal to 9 and say that this function R is approximately equal to that line near the point of tangency, which is 9. What this boils down to is saying that delta R is approximately equal to R prime at 9 times delta, I guess it's P is our variable, delta P. So if P is raised by 5 euros, delta P is positive 0.5, and if P is lowered by half a euro, then delta P is negative 0.5. But first we need to think about this R prime. So R prime of P, right, so we need to know this derivative. It's 3,600 minus 30p squared. So R prime of 9 is 3,600 minus 30 times 81, which I will also go to a calculator for just to make this a little bit faster. Okay. 1,170. So let's see, if P is raised by half a euro, then delta P is positive 0.5, and the change in the revenue is approximately, let's see, 1,170 times 0.5 would be 585 euros. And if P is lowered by the same amount, by half a euro, then delta P is negative 0.5, and the revenue, or the change in the revenue, is negative 585 euros. In other words, the revenue should decrease by that much. Okay, and that's it.